Good morning. We are live with another meditation today. And the theme of today's meditation is inner wisdom, accessing your inner wisdom. So, in the next 5 minutes, if you have quick access to a pen and a piece of paper, grab it and bring it closer. If it's a mission to get a hold of a pen and piece of paper, then don't worry about it. It's not going to be really important. But it would be great that if something comes up for you, some epiphany from a place of wisdom is something that hits you during this meditation, it would be great if you could quickly write it down. But again, don't worry about it too much. It is something that you can write down after we've done meditating as well. Getting ready for this morning's meditation. Once again, if you have a sleep mask, get your sleep mask close at hand and ready. It cuts off the... Good morning, Vic. Hi, brother. Miguel. Good morning, dude. Great to have you guys. Sleep mask cuts off the outside stimulus, gives you more of an internal experience. Listen to the meditation through earphones is a little bit better because, again, it brings you inside yourself, gives you more of that inner experience. While we are giving it another 4 minutes for everyone to catch up, start focusing on your breathing. D, good morning. Christos, my brother, good to see you. Focus on your breathing. Inhale through your nose, out through your mouth. I'll mention again really quickly for those that might not have heard it already. Israel, good morning. Those that might not have heard it when I started this broadcast is if you have easy access to pen and a piece of paper, grab that, have it handy. It might come in handy. If it's a mission for you to fetch a pen and a piece of paper in the next 3 or 4 minutes, then don't worry about it. It's not going to be that important. So the theme this morning is inner wisdom and accessing your inner wisdom. I don't know if that's something you're familiar with. I'm sure that most of us intuitively know that we all carry wisdom inside of ourselves. Good morning, Rian. So I'd like to approach it from 2 different places. I have a very scientific mind. I love science. I think of myself as a little bit of an amateur scientist, and I like to understand things scientifically. But I'm also really spiritual, so I want to have the spiritual answer as well. And I want the science and the spirituality to really come upon the same thing, because truth can only be truth. It can't be 2 different sets of truth, can it? So inner wisdom. From a scientific point of view, I believe that your subconscious mind records everything that happens around you, everything you hear, everything you might be reading, and has been doing that since the day you were born and probably even before. So inside of your subconscious, there is so much data stored, so much experience. It often... Eric, good morning, brother. It's often difficult to access it in a meaningful way because our subconscious is also designed to help us stay alive. In other words, react to fear. And all of this data combined with all of our fear might not always lead to wisdom. But if you get your subconscious and your conscious mind to come together in a space where they're sitting and listening and giving you access, I believe that there's a lot of wisdom that you can access on that physical level. And the spiritual answer for me is, when I get my subconscious and my conscious mind to come together in this one mind state, it's, to me, personal experience, it feels as though I open up to whatever might be outside of me. Spirituality for me personally is defined as the belief that there's something bigger than me, outside of me, that also is me. And that's how I experience spirituality to be. And then one last thought on the spiritual aspect of accessing inner wisdom is, I've always had this real sense about meditation that if God is in me, Bernardo, good morning. If God is inside of me, then what is it? Good morning, Dirk. What is it that I access? What is it that I get access to if I can get myself to a place where my thoughts slow down, slow down, slow down, less thinking, less thought. And in those small moments, and I'm not saying that that not thinking should be your goal for meditation, because it's a very false goal for meditation. But when I get to these small moments when there is less thought, my philosophy has always been that if God, if the universe, if this creative force is inside me, then in those moments where I slip underneath my own thoughts, I can only really be in the presence of God. So my point of view, the physical, the scientific explanation for inner wisdom and the spiritual explanation for inner wisdom, which to me at the end of the day really comes down to the same thing. So if you guys are ready, today's meditation is all about accessing that inner wisdom. Get those sleep masks on, the eyes closed. Settle yourself down, whether you are sitting or lying down. Doesn't make too much of a difference. We're going to start breathing together, in through the nose, out through the mouth. The first couple of breaths we'll do at the same time, and then I'll start talking you through the first step of today's meditation. Take the first deep breath in, and release. Apologies, I just realized I've never switched on the music. So, background music is starting up. Second breath, deep breath in. And release. Yeah, the music helps. Deep breath in. And release. Deep breath in. And release. And another deep breath in. And release. Keep following the same breathing pattern on your own. If you're going to reach that space of inner wisdom, a space where you can ask questions and find answers, I feel like I can't get there if I'm carrying baggage. I can't quite reach that space if my mind is preoccupied with fear, preoccupied with being in a survival mode, and definitely not if my mind is preoccupied with self-judgment. So as we continue breathing in, breathing out in this first step, I want you to really feel into your body for the feeling of putting things down. On your inhale, raise yourself up just a little bit higher. And on your exhale, slump. Let your head fall. Let your shoulders slump. Feel yourself releasing. Feel yourself really putting down what you have been carrying. Feel yourself becoming free. You don't have to lie or sit perfectly still. You can use your body to shake off, shake out what feels stuck, what feels like it's a little bit of a struggle to put down. We do carry emotions somatically in our body, in the cells and in the fibers of our bodies. And engaging your body just a little bit by drawing yourself up when you inhale, and having a physical collapse on the exhale is a visceral submission, a visceral putting down what you've been carrying. The louder and more audible your exhale is, bringing your exhale to the level of maybe a loud sigh or even a louder groan, or if you want to, even a louder, imitating the sound of a full-on purge, throwing up and throwing out what you might have been carrying. Connects you viscerally in your body to the letting go, to the purging of stuck emotions. If this exhaling and this purging is a submission, if it's a submitting, then what you are letting go of, what you're letting out, is a submitting to what is left after the letting go. A submitting to your higher self, a submitting to your higher being, letting go and submitting to your inner wisdom. The fire of self-discovery is not a fire that destroys you. It's a fire that burns everything that you are not. And by submitting and putting down, you're letting go of everything that you are not. We'll take 3 more breaths together. Deep breath in. And let go. Deep breath in. And let go. Deep breath in. And submit. And the next step of this meditation, after our subconscious has slowed down, sitting down at our feet, we want to bring our conscious mind and our subconscious mind together as one, into one space. Elevating ourselves up into our higher selves and regulating our brain waves down into sleep, trance, almost state of self-hypnotism, where we have access to the deeper part of ourselves. In the next phase, we'll do a short breath hold. So after a deep inhale, pulling the air right into your belly, hold your breath for a few seconds, and then a slow exhale. The first few breaths we'll be doing together. A deep breath in. Hold. And a slow release. Deep breath in. Hold. And a slow release. Continue the same breathing pattern on your own. As we're getting ready to access our own deeper wisdom, I want you to be fully intent on really going into yourself and finding a space inside that feels warm, comforting, and full of love. As you inhale, imagine using your eyes to follow your breath in through your nose, down your throat. Dip your chin down so you can see where you're going, inside. Follow the breath into your belly, into your core, and feel yourself be inside yourself as you hold your breath. hold your breath only for as long as is comfortable. The longer your breath hold, the more time you spend inside. But you really want to make the inner experience comfortable. So stay with a breath hold that feels comfortable to you. Notice where your mind goes as you stay inside for a few seconds. If your mind brings up anything that seems unimportant in this moment, try to let go of that thought on the exhale. Let it float away. On the next inhale, go back inside. And you don't have to think anything, but observe where your mind goes. We'll do the last few breaths, the last few breath holds together. Progressively, I'll do longer and longer breath holds. You don't have to follow. You can let go as soon as it feels right for you. Deep breath in. And hold. And release. Deep breath in. And hold. And release. Deep breath in. And hold. release. And one more together breath. Deep breath in. And hold. And release. In the next phase of today's meditation, I will not be giving much guidance. I want you to continue normal, slow inhale through your nose, slow exhale through your mouth. And just sit with your thoughts for a few minutes. Notice what comes up. If it feels unimportant to you in this moment, try and release the thought with the next exhale. Some thoughts come back again and again and again, and that is okay. Return to your breathing. Try and not attach to the thought and let it drift away. If a thought comes up that seems to you to have more importance in this moment, then maybe there's something for you in that thought. If you have a piece of paper and a pen handy, it might be worthwhile to stop and write it down. And again, if it feels unimportant right now, just let it go. For 5 minutes, we'll all sit alone, but together with our own thoughts. See where it goes, see what happens. If the breath holding is really comfortable to you, you can return to the breath hold. That inner experience of breath holding often really helps me access the deeper inner parts of myself. For 5 minutes, your own breathing and observing. That is about the end of 5 minutes. An important message that came to me to share with you is that naturally some days it's easier to put down what you've been carrying. Some days it's easier to slow down your mind and get to a calmer space. And on other days it's just not. Sometimes our subconscious is in such a state of fear and panic that even a long meditation doesn't necessarily snap us out of that. And it's important not to put too much expectation on yourself or on any meditation session. And really important to look at yourself with kindness. When your mind really struggles to shut down or calm down, shut down's not the right word, calm down. The truth is that inside of you something is scared. And if something is scared, there is no use in creating more fear by placing high expectations, by judging, by criticizing. Creating more fear only means having no choice but to double down on an old pattern of survival. If this is where you find yourself today, with a mind that struggles to calm down, it's important to look at you, look at yourself, look at your mind with kindness, and realize that you really just are trying your best. Trying your best to survive, trying your best to keep yourself alive, and that's the reason why something inside of you is scared. Pick up that scared part and hold it in your arms. Think of it as a child that is scared. And what would you do for a scared child? You would pick him, pick her up, hold her, talk softly. And if that is what you do for a child, naturally the child will slowly let go of the fear because she feels safe. And if that is what you would do for a small child, it would make sense to do that for your small self. Pick up that scared part, hold it in your arms, and give it space to slowly feel better. If you repeat it often enough, the fear becomes less. Your nervous system starts healing. And the more your nervous system heals in this space of kindness and love towards yourself, a healed nervous system is less sensitive to fear. The more you pick up and hold the scared part of you, the less scared it will be in future. Coming out of the third phase into gratitude. We'll do the last 5 breaths together. On every exhale, I'll say my own thank you, Where you are, you're welcome to say your own thank you too. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this very special connection that I feel to each and every one of you. Deep breath in. I have a huge amount of gratitude for the humans that I have seen healing themselves by recognizing the scared part, recognizing that small self, and submitting to the work of stopping, picking up the small self, holding that small self, crying with the small self, shouting with the small self, throwing a tantrum with the small self, until it feels better. And while we're doing gratitude, I have a huge, immense warmth around my heart for the humans I've seen do that, to the point that the small self becomes much less scared and starts growing up, starts being less of a 5-year-old small self and less of an 8-year-old small self, and becomes a more mature small self. Let's do one more deep breath in. And thank you everybody for joining this morning. I really felt a connection to something, someone, all of you. Thank you for spending your time this morning with me. And I hope that you really felt that too. If in the third part of the meditation, where you were being open to your own inner wisdom, speaking to you, saying something to you, I'd like to hear about it. If there's something that came to you that did feel important, you're more than welcome to place a comment, tell me about it in the comment section right here. Or if you don't want to share it so publicly, you're more than welcome to send me a direct message and tell me what came up for you. What inner wisdom were you able to access in this small space of this morning's meditation? Thank you, Candace. Thank you, Anthony. Vic, thank you very much, brother. Tiu was watching with us as well this morning. Thank you, Tiu. Michelle in there as well. Good morning, Michael. Great to have you, brother. Wendy, thanks for popping in. Sheena, good to see you're here as well. Josie, thank you for joining. DJ Sphinx Lee is watching. Thanks for joining. Vicus, so flippin' awesome to have you, dude. Eloise, thank you for joining us, Eloise. Karabo, thanks for popping in, Karabo. Renee, I have no idea what that says, but I will translate it later on. Renee's messages are always lovely. Dimitri, hey brother man, good to see you. Voldy, joining us this morning as well. Thanks for joining, Voldy. Right, let's see. There will definitely be more. Candace asks a question. There will definitely be more live meditations in Johannesburg, in the park or somewhere, as soon as we are all allowed to do that again. I want to have a big picnic in the park as soon as we're allowed out of the house back into the park. So I'll let you guys know. If you're not on my mailing list, if you're not receiving WhatsApps or emails from me, please go to my website, curiouspierre.com. Go to the events, find the daily meditation advertised in the events, put your details in there so that I can invite you to the picnic as soon as we're able and allowed to venture out into the parks again. Thank you, everybody. If you want to share with me any, hey Vaughan, if you want to share with me any wisdom that you were able to connect with in your meditation this morning, please send me a message. I'd love to hear. Tomorrow morning, South Africa, 7 o'clock. Everywhere else, join when you can or find the video in the Facebook feed. Lots of love to you guys. Have a flippin' beautiful day.